Hello, and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin shows a bit of a reaction here to the upside. In the previous video, we talked about this particular wave count. I won't repeat everything because this is just sort of an end of the day update, but the idea is that we are here in a WXY correction. I have changed, or I have at least added a second scenario now that we can take a look at in a second. I nearly find the other one more likely because it is also in line with many other crypto charts, and it works equally well, if not even better, on the Bitcoin chart. So we need to pay attention to that other scenario there as well. So we're going to take a look at that. But first of all, based on this wave count, in the last video we talked about, ideally a Bitcoin goes a little lower, a tiny bit lower. Because what did we look at? We looked at obviously this ABC structure, and we said, okay, one key target for a C wave is the 1-to-1 ratio with wave A. Can you see that? That was around 25,000. Let me just double check that. So it was here. So I just need to adjust that. Yeah, but basically at around 25.7K. And that was basically reached with that wick. Then we saw quite a decent reaction, and we could now be here in a corrective bounce. Now, the other way I think to measure was that we calculated here W and Y, because that's another way of calculating. You take the length of the wave W, then you go to the high of the Y to the X wave to compare it with the Y wave length. So wave W and wave Y often have the same length. That was here the 26K level was reached as well and reacted to it. So we had a bit of fib confluence. We talked about that in the previous videos, not just in the last one. Price reacted, and we could now enter the weekend with a bit of a corrective bounce. But overall, the pain should continue, as I said, and the market followed earlier today. We came down here in this strong move. It was quite a strong move down, but also a, let's say, bullish reaction to it. We came down to 25.8K. Now we are reacting. So this could, in this wave count, be a wave 2, which is absolutely possible. In this particular wave structure, however, price should not move above the B wave high. And here we talk about 28,350. Because a move above the B wave high would invalidate the move down. That's one way of looking at it. Overall, it should move down further. Now, the second scenario is, and again, I might actually make that the primary count, is that we are not in a WXY, but actually in an A, B, C structure. And in the C wave, we completed already a wave 1, a wave 2, probably today a third wave. We're now in a fourth wave bounce, and could then come down in a fifth wave. Basically, we're now in an area where we need to start to look for a possible bottom, a possible low. Yeah, explained all of that in the previous video. We talked about the support area. I talked to you about the nearly oversold range on the daily relative strength index. Yeah, today we came down to, well, sort of 36, 37. I think we were around 35 today already. And also on the 4-hour chart, we were oversold. We talked about all of that in previous videos, where you basically look at the area, or basically you take all of this into account, and you consider that at least, together also with the Elliott Wave count, we could get a corrective bounce. Typically on a weekend, we are in a wave 4. Honestly, it often happens. So again, we've got these two scenarios. Either it's a wave 4 or a wave 2. And also in both scenarios, I currently expect a corrective bounce with another following move to the downside. But it is the area where we have to start to look for lows. Yeah. If we are in this particular wave count and we now enter a wave 4 on the weekend, which I actually currently assume, this is resistance. Yeah, it is measured. Is it measured against the low? Yeah, it is. So resistance is between 26,746, which we already reached, and 27,821. Ideal target for a fourth wave is 27,340, the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. And what are we looking for in a wave 4? We're looking for an A, B, C structure. A wave, B wave, C wave, like that. Okay. Yeah, and that is the scenario. What we need to pay attention to is that in wave 2 we had quite a sharp correction, looks like a so-called zigzag pattern. What then typically is the case is that in a wave 4 we either see a triangle or a flat pattern, basically a sideways correction. We just need to pay attention to that. And yeah, in both scenarios I would pay further attention to the downside. However, a move above 27,821 would indicate that possibly something more bullish is going on. But for now, the focus remains on the downside. But as I said, this is the area where we need to start to look for lows. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.